the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, good evening, race fans, and welcome here to the Big E in Rosselburg, Ohio, at the Eldora Speedway. Well, where things are going to get a little bit dirty here tonight. It's the ASRC Scrambler series here for the American Sim Racing Club here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, and night number 1 for the Ironman Challenge right here tonight. Qualifying is going to be here tonight. That is not 40 laps in distance. Each feature will be 30. We have live qualifying coming up in reverse order of how the drivers have practiced so far here tonight. Just like last night, but it is a hot 82 degrees, 82% humidity. And if practice is anything that is a preview of what we're going to see here tonight, you are going to want to strap in. Make sure you get that popcorn. Maybe add a little extra butter. You will not want to miss these twin 30 laps here tonight at Eldora. And we got about 5 minutes here before we get going in tonight's racing action. And one of the drivers, well, not that familiar or too familiar with the dirt. You see him, he's in charge of the Sunday night series, and we are talking about the one and only Zach Heiser. And Zach Heiser joining me now in the booth. Zach, this is Al with the Turn 3 Racing Network, and well, we're on the dirt, so no better time than to make the announcement. I saw that earlier today, but the Pro Late Model Series coming back in 2 weeks right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. What's the season shaping up? 12 weeks I saw on the schedule. How can someone get involved with the Sunday night portion of the American Sim Racing Club?
Yeah, man, I appreciate it so much. So it's pretty simple. We'll be running some recruitment races here coming up in, next week. So after Easter, we'll start running some recruitment races pretty hot and heavy. And so look for those in posted session, or you can check out American Sim Racing Club. We have a Facebook group and a Facebook page. Just drop us a message or drop us a line in there if you're interested. And yeah, we're excited. Summer series for the Dirt Pro Late Models, and we're really looking forward to it, man. We've got a lot of fun stuff coming up. Eldora 100, sponsored by Horsepower Happenings, and that's probably going to be a money race. All-star race that we're going to put on inside the Chili Bowl. That's probably going to be a money race as well. And then we'll do some really fun stuff for, our champions and top 5 in points, just like what we did with our first season.
Yeah, a lot of good things happening here with the series, and this is the second season of it. So, gotta keep making it bigger. And you just some of the stuff I was going to talk about, some of these special races that are going to be there. It's pretty exciting to see that, and everybody can watch it right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, as you guys have found a home for the entire league, and that's pretty awesome. It means a lot to us here at the Turn 3 Racing Network that you guys believe in our product as much as that. Let us cover all your facets out there. But yeah, so April 16th is the first main event, but as you just said, we're going to have some recruitment races coming on up, and if you're interested, just drop them a line. Zach will get you all set up there. Zach, how many, is it fixed? Is it open? What can someone that's interested expect before dropping you a message?
The great thing about most of the ASRC leagues, at least this is what I feel like as an iRacing driver, is that they're fixed setups. So, you don't have to worry about knowing the inner workings of shock packages and spring rates and things like that, and gear ratios to be fast. If you can hold a consistent wheel, and that's what we look for, right? You don't have to be contending for wins each and every week, but if you can race your competitors with respect, and you can, hold a pretty wheel and not be wrecking people, and just have a fun time out racing, that's who we're looking for. And who knows, maybe we'll make a dirt racer out of you at the end of the 14 race season. It's fixed setup, and we put the setups out early enough that you can practice with those. And, we're just, like you said, we're looking forward to a really exciting second season. Summer season, Sunday nights, we push the time back to 9:30 Eastern time so that, everybody can enjoy the day as the days are longer. And, Sunday nights, hopefully everything's wrapped up as far as the other broadcasts and everything that goes on nationally, and we can have a really good time racing on the dirt.
Well, maybe we'll get myself out of the broadcast booth and maybe on the track with you guys. We'll never know. Talk about tonight, though. I see you're down on the speed chart. I won't give out where exactly you are. 70 laps. I've watched pretty much a lot of the practice. I told the viewers out there that they better strap in because this is going to be an exciting Twin 30s here tonight.
Everything that you think you know about dirt track racing goes out the window. You'll also notice that a former ASRC dirt track champion, Jacob Laster, is in the room as well, and he is down there with me on the speed charts. And it is, I love the Scrambler series. I love this idea that Tanner has put together for us for this series. But in all the test sessions, in all of the practices, I think, here's what I'll say. Don't put a lot of stock in practice and qualifying times, because these races, as you mentioned, they're going to be dramatic. They're going to be unlike anything you've ever seen. And it's going to be, I believe, these two races are going to be races of keep your nose clean and try to be there at the end, because these races are unlike any dirt race you've ever seen. Any knowledge you have about racing on dirt is almost completely irrelevant, and you just have to go out there and you know what? We all know that luck is a big part of this sport. It's a huge part of the Scrambler Dirt Series.
It absolutely is. And night number 2, well, why not challenge everybody with a little bit of dirt racing? We know that you might be a ringer since you are the promoter of the Pro Late Model Series right here for the American Sim Racing Club. We'll let you get ready for qualifying, get strapped in. Good luck, Zach. Hopefully we'll be talking to you a little bit later here this evening.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Have a good luck in the broadcast booth.
Thank you. That's Zach Heiser, as he will bring you he is the promoter of the dirt portion of the American Sim Racing Club. And just like that, we are going to get ready to do some time trials with the live time trials in reverse order. It's going to be Drew Thiel, who should be out on the racetrack first, as the field will start to populate down on pit road. They'll get out on the racetrack, get up to speed, and get up to at least 2 to maybe 3 laps here this evening. I believe the first couple cars starting to roll out onto the racetrack or down towards the end of pit road. And the first ones we see are the number 48 of Tim Rogers and the Pro Late Model champion on Sunday nights. It is Jacob Lassiter in car number 151 here tonight. Those are the drivers that you're going to see coming out onto the racetrack first for their qualifying times on what is going to be an exciting one. So Rogers be the first car up out onto the racetrack as he rolls down the backstretch out of Binghamton, New York. In car number 48, this is Tim Rogers. The second car out on the racetrack will be the 151 out of Dresden. This is Jacob Lassiter. So the 151 out onto the racetrack and the 48 of Tim Rogers, and that is how they will start here this evening for your qualifying times. So qualifying up onto the books right now. They work down the backstretch. Tim Rogers going to come across the line, and he will put lap number 1 into the books, and it is a 18 flat. We will see what Jacob Lassiter will come across the line with. Jacob Lassiter going to go to second quick with an 18.01. As we bring you down the lap times, you see that separation here. They should, I believe, get 2 laps up to speed and a little bit quicker, or slower, for Tim Rogers. Can Jacob Lassiter go quicker? He comes across the stripe, and he will go quick time with a 17.97 for Jacob Lassiter. Next couple cars getting ready to roll out onto the racetrack down here on pit road. We'll get a look at those drivers, as it looks like we talked to him earlier. The 14 of Zach Kaiser, Donovan Carty, and Deontay Hewer will be the next 3 cars out onto the track for their qualifying time, trying to take down the 151 of Jacob Lassiter. I want to thank you all for tuning on in here tonight to the American Sim Racing Club for their portion of the evening. The first car out onto the racetrack for group number 2 will be the number 3 of Donovan Carty. Donovan Carty in car number 3. Out there on the first one, he'll get the checker or the green flag this time off turn number 4. Deontay Hewer out of Loveland, Colorado, will roll across stripe. He is on the clock now. And we talked to him a few minutes ago, the promoter of the Pro Late Model Series here for the ASRC, Zach Kaiser. Those are your 3 cars out onto the racetrack. Coming through turns 3 and 4 this time by, it'll be the number 3 of Carty. And Carty will go 3rd quick. Here comes Deontay Hewer. He'll go to 3rd overall. Zach Heiser right here in the 5th spot with an 18.11. So let's see what Carty, can he go quicker on lap number 2, getting the ponies wound up. And Carty going to go to 4th quick. He did go a little bit quicker on lap number 2. Deontay Hewer. Zach Heiser now to 3rd overall with a 18.05 here tonight. Carty going to come back across the stripe for lap number 3. He'll go 2nd quick with a number 3. That is Donovan Carty going 2nd quick. Zach Kaiser going to pull it into the pits. So near tie, but Jacob Lassiter still holding on to spot number 1 here tonight so far, as John Kane rolls out onto the racetrack in car number 9. Also Jamie Caphart out of Jacksonville, Florida. And Franklin Evans in car number 61 are your next 3 cars out here onto the racetrack as they roll across the stripe. And it is going to be Jamie Caphart out of Jacksonville, Florida. Next driver to be the first one to get a time here. We'll see what lap number 1 will be into the books for the number 68 as they come down here across the stripe. And Caphart, lap 1 into the books is going to be 6th quick. Franklin Evans will go 7th. Here comes John Kane across the line. Kane is going to slot in the 8th. So it looks like lap number 2 has been the money lap. Get a little heat in these street stock tires here for qualifying as they come across the stripe. And it'll bring the 68. Jamie Caphart, he'll stay 6th quick overall. Franklin Evans 7th, and John Kane goes a little bit quicker. He'll jump up to the 7th spot overall. They got one more time around the corner. Here as they come across the stripe, John Kane going to lead them. He'll win it, or come across a new fast time. Jamie Caphart with a 17.97 tops Jacob Lassiter. As the top 3 really, really close there in time. Franklin Evans will go 5th, and John Kane rounding out your field in that session. So 8 cars have taken time. The next cars up onto the racetrack right now will be the 93 of Andrew Payne as he rolls down on the backstretch. Car number 93, this is Andrew Payne. Devin McDonald in car number 18, and the number 31 of Zach Coyer. Your next 3 cars to take time here tonight as they work down the back stretch. Let's see what kind of lap time Andrew Payne can put out there. He got a little bit high into turn number 3. Getting that 93 wound up here. Lap 1 for Payne going to be good enough for a 10th overall. Now make 11th as Coyer will go fastest so far in group number 3. Payne right down to the inside to come across the stripe. Andrew Payne comes across. He will go to new quick time with a 17.93 for Andrew Payne. Zach Coyer will stay 10th overall, and the 18 of Devin McDonald 11th. So Andrew Payne in car number 93 setting quick time. Does he go quicker on lap number 3? He does not. It does just a slight with a 17.92. 17.92 for car number 93. Andrew Payne. Devin McDonald will qualify 6th, and Zach Coyer 11th. Next driver up onto the racetrack will be car number 23. This is Stephen Hoffman. Then it will be the 51 of Ron Hart and the 88 of Charles Darling. Those are your next 3 cars up onto the racetrack as they roll down the back stretch. Can anybody top the number 93 of Andrew Payne, sitting on top with a 17.92, 17.92 for Andrew Payne? Can anybody go quicker? We're going to see Steve Hoffman coming through turns 3 and 4 to put lap number 1 into the books. Hoffman going to jump up, and he will go 10th overall. We're seeing lap number 2 and 3 be quicker. As I say that, Charles Darling says, "You're a liar, Al." I will go 3rd overall in car number 88. So Charles Darling getting a good lap here on lap number 1. Lap 2 coming across the books. We will see, will anybody jump up. New fast time to the 51. That is Ron Hart with a 17.90, 17.89 now. As it updates for the 51 of Ron Hart, setting fast time here in group number 4. And Ron Hart going to set that fast time that everybody is going to be looking to take down. Group number 5 getting ready to roll out onto the racetrack. It'll be Nick Fleury in car number 25, along with the 62 of Jeff Dillon and Hayden Swank in car number 35. That's your next 3 cars coming up onto the racetrack. So we'll see what kind of time as Fleury comes down across the stripe, and that'll be putting lap number 1 started. So Nick Fleury right down around the bottom. Can he come across the stripe? He will do so. What time will he put in? Second quick with a 17.91. Jeff Dillon will go 10th. And Hayden Swink coming across the stripe. He got a 18.12. So we'll keep our eyes on this number 25 as he comes off of turn number 4. Can he go faster in lap number 2? He does not. 17.98 for lap 2 for Fleury. Jeff Dillon also goes slower. And Hayden Swink still sitting 17th overall out of the 17 cars who have attempted qualifying here this evening. Last trip across the stripe for Nick Fleury, and it is good enough for second. So Nick Fleury's first lap with a 17.91. Good enough for second overall. Hayden Swink now will jump up to that number 4 spot. Is a good time for the 35 here in group number 5. So Swank will pull the car down into there. And the next group will get ready to come out onto the racetrack. It'll be led out by the number 37 of Brandon Marlowe. Brandon Marlowe looking to roll on out along with the number 38. This is David Patton. David Patton going to roll out on the racetrack out of Schellerville, Indiana. And it looks like those are the 2 drivers. And the last one out of Hanover, Pennsylvania, in car number 951. This is Brian Wildassin. Wildassin in 951. So Brandon Marlowe already on the clock. Let's see what kind of time he can put in as he works down the back stretch here in the turn number 3. Marlowe, a regular on the dirt scene. Let's see what kind of time the 37 will put in on lap number 1. Marlowe with an 18.06. 18.06. David Patton comes across the line. He will run an 18.06. And Brian Wildassin coming off of turn number 4 this time to complete his first timed lap. And Wildassin will go 9th overall with a 17.98. Brandon Marlowe to coming across the line, still sitting in that 16th position. David Patton comes across. He'll still hold on to 17th. So Wildassin, will he go quicker this time off of turn number 4? He does not. 18.181818 for Brandon Marlowe is going to stay 16th. So as surprising as this is how the cars had gone out, and your fastest driver of practice will have the track all to himself. It is the one and only, the 71 out of Brighton, Michigan, Brett the Plane Hahn. He's told me tonight he's going to try to regain his nickname of Brett the Jet, but we will have to wait and see as he gets out onto the racetrack. And Brett Hahn in car number 71 is your final qualifier of the evening here, as we have 21 cars signed in for tonight's racing action. Look over the corner of Brett Hahn. Take a look and see what kind of lap times he's going to put up. Brett Hahn, lap number 1, good enough for 7th overall, with a 17.97. Lap number 2 as we ride on board and come across the stripe. Hahn is going to go by. This lap was a little bit slower, 18.53. So we'll see one more trip around the speedway, and we will see if he can go quicker on lap number 3. He comes across the stripe, and he will not go quicker with an 18.020. So your pole sitter will be car number 51, Ron Hart, setting fast time for feature number 1. That'll be coming up here momentarily. We want to thank everybody for tuning on in, and this is the Iron Man Challenge, race number 1. What that is the driver who has the lowest average finish over these Ironman Challenge races. They will win the Ironman Challenge. So you have to be good on all the disciplines. These races will come up through the evening or through the season, and we are getting ready to go now here with our feature number 1, and this is what your starting lineup will look like. Starting on the pole, he set fast time with a 17.899. It is the number 51. This is Ron Hart. Nick Fleury will roll off in the outside of row number 2, or on the outside of row number 1 in spot number 2. Andrew Payne and Hayden Swink will make up row number 2. Row 3 will go to Jamie Caphart and Charles Darling. Brett Hahn and Jacob Lassiter will make up row number 4. And rounding out your top 5 rows will be Donovan Carty and Brian Wildassin. Starting on row number 6 and spot number 11 will be Tim Rogers, and outside of him, the number 18. This is Devin McDonald. David Patton and Jeff Dillon make up row number 7. Row number 8 will go to Franklin Evans and John Kane. Zach Kaiser and Brandon Marlowe will make up row number 9. Excuse me. Sorry about that, folks. Stephen Hoffman and Deontay Hewer will make up row 10. And your final row of the evening, Zach Coyer and Drew Thiel. That'll be your 21 cars field as we get ready to go with feature number 1. 30 laps is the distance, and it is going to be Ron Hart showing the way as the field rolls by, a standing room only crowd here for the American Sim Racing Club here this evening. Top 12 in this feature will get inverted in race number 2, but until then we have 30 laps of action here tonight for feature number 1. Getting ready to go, green flag. This time off of turn number 4. Green flag is up. One car already down to the infield. That's the 68 of Caphart. As everybody gets up through the gears, working down the back stretch here, they come swinging out 2 by 2 into the corner. Hayden Swank working the outside of the speedway, trying to get some ground up. And lap number 1 going to go into the books in what is already an exciting 3-wide action race around the speedway. Off a corner, Darling working the outside of Jacob Lasser. Did they make a little bit of contact down here in the turn number 1? Out front, though, it is all Ron Hart in that number 51, out to a half-second lead. We watch the battle back here as we go on board, looking out the backside with the number 35 of Hayden Swank. Oh, contact. Hang on to it, Lassiter. He will do so. Action all the way around the racetrack back here. Brett Hahn working the inside of the racetrack as they've bottom 2 and 3 wide in front of him. Jacob Lassiter working to the inside. Here comes the 951 of Oldassin. They're going to go 3 wide down here in the turn number 1. Oldassin working the outside. Lassiter in the middle. Here comes McDonald digging down low in that number 18. This was the action that we saw in practice all night long leading up to this. They come off the corner 3 wide, paint swapping between the 951 of Wildassin and McDonald. Oh, Darling gonna go around Charles. Darling facing southbound in a northbound lane down here in turns number 1 and 2. And a yellow flag will come out for the first time this evening here at the completion of lap number 5. Let's take a look at the Turn 3 Racing Network replay to see what happened to Charles Darling. We look high above. Oh, it looks like he just got around underneath a car and spun around. He will go. Let's take a look at a different camera view of this. See him working the outside of Swank. Cuts it down low into the corner. Gets down low. The car, got just tightened up into the left door panel of the 35 of Swank. Everybody else doing a great job to get on by here in feature number 1. So your race leader is the number 51 of Ron Hart. He has led it since the green flag has dropped here this evening. Pace truck down on the way. Hart on the loud pedal. He will show it first. Hart going to win that drag race down here in the turn number 1. Nick Flory side by side. Andrew Payne down low. Here comes the driver out of Canada, Devin McDonald. But he's got Jacob Lassiter shooting to the inside. Oh, they make contact to the 93 of Payne. Big trouble behind them as everybody stacks up. So far, we stay green. Somehow they make it through that. Unbelievable drive-in here tonight is now one car broken. The 37 of Marlowe, heavy damage. Going to see if that car can make it back to the pits. That really shuffled up the field. You see a bunch of damage. Here comes the 61 of Evans. Brian Wildassin has jumped to the pit as he's had trouble, so tough sledding early on for the driver of the 951. Brandon Marlowe has gone around as well as he's trying to get to the pits, and he will do so. We will stay green. Meanwhile, up front, it is Ron Hart down here in the turns 3, but he's got Nick Fleury closing in on the back side of him, along with Jacob Lassiter now sitting in 3rd. 10 laps complete, 20 to go, as now the yellow flag will fly for the second time here in feature number 1. And I believe it is Deontay Hewer who has gone around in turn number 3. Let's take a look and see what happened to Hewer to bring out our yellow flag for the second time this feature. Working there with Heiser, Rogers. They are 4 wide. Charles Darling down the... Oh, it looks like Rogers got the outside wall and up and over. Amazing that Hewer's able to take and drive that car away. Let's watch it again. See Rogers get the outside wall, shoots him down in the Heiser, and that gets him into the 00, and Darling So a 3-car wreck down there in the turn number 2, or 3, excuse me. And he's able to get it pointed back in the right direction. Multiple cars down on pit road. You see Charles Darling down here, 93 of Andrew Payne, also coming down here to get some damage repaired. With the caution laps not counting, the yellow flags laps not counting here this evening. The lights still on the pace truck. They will not go down any laps to get some damage repaired to their race cars. So the field doubling up. The lights have gone out around the racetrack. And we will take a look here and see. Here as we are on board looking over the driver's quarter panel, over his corner. As we are on board with your race leader, Ron Hart. The pace truck goes away. He steps on the gas pedal, and we are back underway in feature number 1. With 19 laps to go, a lot of contacts back here. They are 2-3 wide here. They come down the backstretch. It is Lassiter looking to the inside of Nick Flory. He will do a slide job. It looks like contact. That gets the 18 of McDonald out of trouble. Jeff Dillon working the outside and hits the 38 of David Patton. He scraped the outside retaining wall. More paint being swapped back there behind him. Great action all the way around the speedway. And once again, yellow flag going to come out. As we try to find out what happened with this one. Looks like possibly for the number 9 of John Kane, who sits on pit road. Let's take a look. Oh, John Kane, heavy left front damage. That car just will not turn and is slow. You see the left front really broke. Same with the 68. Oh, he gets the inside wall and comes to a stop on the surface. Just can't make it into pit road. And that'll bring out our yellow flag here in feature number 1. So tough sledding there for a few of our drivers. Jamie Caphart, Charles Darling, John Kane, Deontay Hewer, Brandon Marlowe, Brian Woldaston, all on pit road currently. As the field comes out of turn number 2 or 4 for the restart. Into the restart zone, Ron Hart going to jump on the gas pedal. This time the 151 a little bit ready for him. Got a good run down here in the turn number 1. Lassiter working the outside. Here comes David Patton around the outside of Nick Flory. So Patton up 10 spots, started in 13th, looking to get up a little bit higher. Now taking a peek underneath the 151 of Lassiter. David Patton working down low. Can't make it up stick just yet. Hold on to that number 3 spot. McDonald 5th and Brett Hahn 7th. Steve Hoffman in the 7th now, as Hahn has gotten around him for 6. Evans runs 8. Jeff Dillon 9th. And now Zach Heiser in car number 14. He is battling with a 35 of Swank for the final spot inside the top 10. This time by it'll be 14 circuits to go around the half mile here at Eldora. And right now the 51 of Ron Hart showing away. Has led it since the green flag has dropped. But he has got Jacob Lassiter right there behind him, trying to make a move on him. They come by here down in the corner. So we now go on board with Jacob Lassiter, trying to find a way around that number 51 of Hart, but Hart running a nice race right down there. You see how slick the track is. That was done by design to put on a great show for you fans out there. Hopefully you're enjoying the action here tonight Hart showing away. Lassiter runs second. Third is Fleury. Now Fleury trying to put a move on the 151 of Jacob Lassiter. Steve Hoffman a little bit back here. He's battling with Devin McDonald. There's 10 laps to go in here in feature number 1 here on the dirt at Eldora. Evans trying to make a move. He would like to get a couple spots up towards the front as well. Right now, the last car out on the racetrack, Andrew Payne. He will be in the transfer spot, so if the checkered flag were to wave currently, Payne would start on the pole in feature number 2. We have 9 more laps. A lot can change between now and then. As your top 3 is still single files, we watch this battle off of turn number 4. Evans works the outside of Hoffman. Jeff Dillon trying to figure out which lane that he needs to be in to make some ground up here as they work down the backstretch. Back up front, though. It is still Hart as now Fleury around the outside of Jacob Lassiter with 7 laps to go. Does Fleury have enough left in the tank on those tires to make it? Anything happen to our race leader? Ron Hart has led it since the green flag has dropped. He's holding a nice pretty wheel as he works down here through the corner. Now Fleury gets a run on him in the turn number 3. Backs off it, can't do anything with it. You're seeing Hart start to get a little bit loose. That opens the outside. Here comes Nick Fleury as we got a bid for your race lead. And the turns 1 and 2. Fleury right to the back bumper. A little bit of contact that time off turn number 2. Fleury down low. Hart's going to have to give him a little bit of space. Up the racetrack goes Hart. They are side by side off of turn number 2. Jacob Lassiter not done yet with 4 more laps to go in this one. Great action here in feature number 1. Jacob Lassiter, Nick Fleury. This is what exactly Hart wants to see behind him as Ron Hart trying to run away and hide. Slide job coming up. Lassiter and Fleury make some contact. Fleury back to the outside. Here comes Lassiter to down low. This time by the rabbit ears will be up. It'll be 2 laps to go. It is slide job city between Nick Fleury and Jacob Lassiter. Great battle back here as Fleury down to the inside. Can't do anything with him. David Patton now has drawn himself in. As this time by off of turn number 4, it is going to be the white flag. 1 more lap to go for Ron Hart as he works down here through turns 1 and 2. He has about a car length gap between himself and Lassiter. One last ditch effort for Lassiter in the turn number 3. But off of turn number 4, leading all 30 laps. Ron Hart set fast time. He will go to victory lane in feature number 1. Ron Hart, Jacob Lassiter, Nick Fleury, your top 3. David Patton will come home second, or in 4th, and Brett Hahn 5th. Hard charger of the race belongs to the number 23 of Hoffman, up 12 positions from 19th to finish 7th in feature number 1. And that'll do it here for feature number 1. Ron Hart picking up the win. He'll come down here onto the front stretch as they get ready to go. And we'll take and try to get a quick word with the 51 of Ron Hart here just in a moment as he gets unbuckled from the car. Let's take and get a word with our feature 1 winner. Ron, this is Al Smith up in the Turn 3 Racing Network booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, Al, I got you.
Man, what a great race. Set fast time in qualifying. You're going to lead all 30 laps here in feature number 1 to pick up that first dirt win of the season here with the Scrambler Series. And Ron, I don't know if you have the mirror on or not, but the battle behind you was raging. You had a couple nudges. How nervous were you when you had some of those fast guys coming up there behind you?
Man, those guys were good. I don't run very much dirt. I don't think I've ever won a race on dirt before, so I was winging it. I felt like they knew what they were doing better. But I had the track position and just tried real hard to make the car as wide as possible, and it worked out. So happy to get it done.
You're going to take and now going to get relegated back to that 12th position. What's it going to take to get back to the front of this field when we come back racing here this evening? Or not back this evening, but you know what I mean, for feature number 2 that's going to be coming up here momentarily.
Yeah, I'm going to have to learn in a hurry, Al. Running all 30 laps out front was good, but I didn't get to learn in traffic like the rest of the guys did. So it's going to take a minute to figure that out and try to get through there. We're running for the Ironman points, though, so we just needed one good finish. So this one is just the cake now, so see what we can get done.
Well, congratulations on getting this win. We'll let you get out there, turn some laps here in this quick hot lap session. But before we do, who makes it all possible for you in this number 51?
Thanks for Tanner and the guys for putting this league on. It's a lot of fun to race with these guys each week. We have a lot of really good, clean racers, and appreciate Turn 3 for doing the broadcast.
Well, thank you very much, Ron. Good luck here in feature number 2. Maybe we'll be talking to you once again.
That's the plan.
There you go. Feature 1 winner, the number 51 of Ron Hart, as he's going to get out onto the racetrack and get ready to go here in feature number 2. As we do that, let's take a look at the results for feature number 1. And it is going to be Ron Hart picking up the win over Jacob Lastard and Nick Fleury. David Patton finished 4th. Brett Hahn was 5th. Devin McDonald will finish 6th. Steve Hoffman 7th. Franklin Evans 8th. Jeff Dillon and Zach Heiser rounding out your top 10. Tim Rogers, Andrew Payne 11th and 12th. Zach Coyer, Donovan Carty, Hayden Swink, John Kane, Charles Darlin, Jamie Caphart will finish in that 18th position. And rounding out your field, Brandon Marlowe and Brian Wildassin. See, Drew Thiel did not make the call, and Tanner Tallarico, your race control, up there in what is considered the most thankless job of all here tonight. And we thank Tanner for his efforts in putting this series together, making it all possible. Feature number 2 getting on the grid, and this is what it's going to look like. Starting on the pole, in car number 93, it'll be Andrew Payne outside of him. The 48, this is Tim Rogers. Zach Kaiser will start 3rd outside of him, the 62 of Jeff Dillon. Franklin Evans and Steve Hoffman make up row number 3, and in row number 4, Devin McDonald and Brett Hahn. David Patton and Nick Fleury will make up row number 5 and 9th and 10th, respectfully. And the remaining of your field here tonight, starting in the 11th spot, Jacob Lassiter, and your feature 1 winner, Ron Hart, will start 12th. 13th spot will go to Zach Coyer, Donovan Carty, and the number 3 will start 14th. 15th starter here tonight will be Hayden Swink, and 16th will roll off the number 9 of John Kane. Charles Darling and Jamie Capehart will roll off 17th and 18th. 19th starter will be Deontay Hewer, and Brandon Marlowe will start 20th. Brian Wildassin will start 21st, and that'll be your 21-car field as the field starts to roll out around the racetrack here tonight for tonight's second feature. 30 laps was the distance. 12 was the invert here tonight as we get ready to go with feature number 2 as the sun starts to set. We will see here once again some great action like we did in feature number 1. If you're just tuning on into here, this is feature number 2 of the Ironman Challenge. Driver with the lowest finish over all the Ironman Challenge races this season, well, they will get that separate championship along with, well, the overall championship if they happen to be the most points getters over this 12-race season. Pace truck about to go in as they come off of turn number 4. It is being led of the field by Andrew Payne and the 48 Tim Rogers. Green flag is up, and we are underway here in feature number 2. Down into turn number 1 they go. It is still side by side back there for your 5th position. Jeff Dillon working the outside. He'll work to the inside. That's the Devin McDonald in the 18. And lap number 1 going to go across the book, and it'll be Andrew Payne leading that one. Keep an eye on the 51 of Ron Hart. Started 12th after picking up the Feature 1 win. Has to learn how to work in traffic around here as he led the first one wire to wire. Can he make it back to the front? We are about to find out here. Fastest lap of the race belongs to the 18 of Devin McDonald's, already up 3 spots from the starting position of 7th. He currently rides in that 4th spot. Now going underneath. Looks like the 14 of Heiser. They'll make a little bit of contact. Up the racetrack they go. Heiser working that middle groove. Everybody stuck down low. A lot of grip out there, it looks like, as the field works down the back stretch. Feature number 2 ongoing as they work off the corner. Hoffman taking a peek underneath Evans, but he'll get checked up. Brett Hahn in the back of Jeff Dillon. A bit of bumper car action right there between those 3 race cars. Everybody doing good. 5 laps into the books here, and we're trying to get settled on in as they're all chasing the 93 of Andrew Payne. We watched the battle back here with David Patton. Patton working the extreme high side of the racetrack and making it work. Patton, one of the higher mover drivers last race. Brett Hahn down low. They're going to split them 3 wide down the back or front stretch. We go high above with our blimp cam. We got action for your race lead. Tim Rogers down to the inside. 3 wide for your race lead. Here comes Devin McDonald down to the inside. 3 wide for your race lead off of turn number 4. Who's going to be at the line? Rogers will lead lap number 6. Working lap 7 now. They come across the stripe. Good battle up here. Oh, Rogers down low. They'll make some contact. He holds on to it in the turn number 3. Tim Rogers works the outside. He's got the Skull Bandit on the left rear quarter panel of that 48. 1 car going to go around. That's the 61 of Franklin Evans. The 23 of Hoffman also going down into the spin cycle. And the yellow flag for the first time here in feature number 2 will come out on lap number 7. Let's take a look and see what happened to Evans. See him coming up off the corner. Oh, looks like Hoffman just got a little bit tight and into the left rear quarter panel. And around he will go. Hoffman also getting involved in that one. Let's take and go on board with Evans. Stop right down here on the front stretch. You heard him out of the gas though, folks, so you know he was trying to stay off that left rear of Hoffman. Just got tight up off of turn number 4, and that is easy to do here on the dirt. Contact, well, it's going to happen. If you're watching out there, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Let these drivers know you appreciate their efforts here tonight. They'll come back and watch this broadcast back, and, well, they see those thumbs up. It keeps them trying harder next week. Let them know that you appreciate them racing out here for you on a Wednesday evening. Tim Rogers credited as your race leader. Devin McDonald and Andrew Payne will be round out your top 3. They were 3 wide there for a moment. Everybody got to cool down, take a breath. Let's see what is going to take and happen now as we get ready to go. Green flag is up and we're back underway. Oh, big wreck back here. The yellow flag, no start situation, it looks like. So no start situation. Yellow lights coming back out onto the racetrack. Let's take a look and see. The race control not liking that start, so they'll re-rack them and restack them. So no harm, no foul. They're going to catch up to the pace car, which is rolling through turns 1 and 2. As Roger's parked down here on the front stairs waiting for that pace truck to catch up to the field. Good shot for our spectators here at the racetrack, that they can get a shot of these race cars. You see them all here. You got their cameras out, got their phones out, taking pictures of these race cars that are beautifully prepared. The lead doing a good job to keep it like an IROC series where they have their favorite colors and their numbers. And now the field caught back up behind the pace truck as the lights are still on that Chevy Silverado. Hopefully everybody's doing good out there. Glad to have you in here watching tonight's American Sim Racing Club Street Stock Scrambler Series. Race number 1 for the Iron Man Challenge. Lights are out on the Chevy Silverado, so we're going to go back green flag racing here momentarily. Feature number 2 going much better for some of these drivers. Is the pace truck down and away. Green flag is up, and we are back underway. A much better start this time, the race control says. And just like that, Devin McDonald says, thank you very much. But Brett Hahn's going to go around in turn number 1. And just like that, the pace truck back out onto the racetrack. See what happened. The Brett Hahn had a good start right there behind the 51 of Ron Hart. Gets down in the corner. Oh, a big checkup from there. Nick Flory had nowhere to go, and around will go Brett Hahn in car number 71. So Hahn catch up. Flory getting sent to the back of the pack for his take in that, I do believe, is... Well, pace truck ready to go back off the racing surface. There'll be 20 laps to go when the green flag comes back out, and Rogers on the gas pedal, and we are staying green as they work down here. Rogers with a great start down there in the turn 20 and 2. John Kane has pulled the number 9 into the pits. Zach Kaiser working the outside of the racetrack. He is trying to move forward. He's got Lassiter, Ron Hart working up through there. He'll make contact. Up the racetrack goes Jeff Dillon. No harm, no foul. They're still contacting paint. Right there in front of him, the 38 of David Patton. Patton trying to stay there. The 51's down low. He'll swing it down low into turns 1 and 2. Nothing doing that time. We go on board with the 51 around Hart. Watch that battle in front of him. You can see how the visibility limited here, especially as the sun sets, making it difficult for these drivers. Biggest mover of the race so far, though, has been the number 151 of Jacob Lassiter. He is into the 4th position, up 7 spots as he works underneath the 14 of Heiser. Heiser to the look back to the inside of Jacob Lassiter. Can't quite do anything with it that time. Has to check up. That allows the 38 of Patton to get to the back bumper of Heiser. Trying to crack inside the top 5. Ron Hart down low. They'll make slight contact. Heiser up the racetrack. Ron Hart up to 6, looking for more. Into the bottom side in the turn number 1. Contact once again off the corner. No harm, no foul in the street stocks. Those the 51 will crack the top 5 for the first time in feature number 2. Tim Rogers dosed up front, half-second lead over Devin Rogers, who's got some challenge now from the 91 of Andrew Payne. Remember, Payne started on the pole here, finished 12th in feature number 1, trying to hold on to gain those valuable overall points inside the top 3. Tim Rogers showing away. Devin McDonald now sliding back to second as Payne starting to march a little bit forward with just 12 circuits remaining. Zach Kaiser down low. Patton is going to cross him over. The nice move by David Patton down to the inside underneath Heiser. Heiser going to try to do the same thing with him. They'll stay off each other. 11 laps to go. Zach Coyer and Donovan Carty doing battle back here for 10th. Charles Darling, Franklin Evans, Nick Fleury rebounding into the 14th position as Brett Hahn has taken the 71 into the pits. 10 laps to go for that man, the 48 of Rogers, and the yellow flag coming out. Yellow, yellow, yellow. As we try to find what happened. Looks like Franklin Evans involved in the 61. Oh, heavy, heavy smoke out of the 61 here at Eldora. And heavy left front damage. Let's take a look and see what happened to the 61 of Evans. Racing here, you got Carty in front of him with the 31 of Coyer. Oh, Carty got the inside wall and it just, hard contact. Oh, the 68 nowhere to go. Swank as well. Oh boy, let's watch that one once again from our chopper view. You can see the number 3 of Donovan Carty down to the inside. Just gets down low and gets the inside wall. Nothing for the 61 to do, and the 3 out of shape still, and hard contact for both the 68 of Caphart and I believe that was the 35 of Hayden Swank that made some heavy left front damage on that car as well. So a very tough break for them. We'll get the single file restart though with under 10 laps to go. So a tough break for those drivers having some issues late in feature number 2. Tim Rogers jumps on the gas pedal. We're back underway. He opens up a good gap with 9 laps to go. Oh, McDonald into the outside wall. That opens the inside for the 93 of Payne. And just like that, feature 1 winner Ron Hart up to 4th. Through all of this, a lot of comers and goers. Brian Waldassin inside the top 10 now. He's working forward in that 951. As you see him 3 wide back there. Ron Hart now in the 3rd. Can he go back to back here in just 7 laps left in feature number 2? Tim Rogers up on the front of this one. Almost a second gap over McDonald. McDonald's going to start feeling the pressure from the 51 of Ron Hart. And Jacob Lassiter now underneath Andrew Payne. That's the battle for 4th. Payne down to the inside, or outside. Lassiter down low. Swap in position. That is the battle. Lassiter now trying to take over that 4th spot. He will have sole possession of it this time off the corner with 5 laps remaining. Rogers showing the way down the back stretch in that number 48. in yellow flag coming out with 5 laps remaining. Not what he wanted. And it looks like the number 3 of Cardi involved in that number 3. So we see him looking to make the hard right-hand turn into pit road, and that front end, I believe, has seen a better day. Let's take a look and see. Cardi there, Nick Fleury underneath them, gets into the corner. Contact between him and the 62 of Dylan. Oh, and hard contact. Hewer and the 00 making hard contact. Oh, boy. Let's go on board with Deontay Hewer. You see the contact happen there, and up the racetrack comes the 3, and just, well, nothing the Hewer could do there. Tough break for the number 3 of Cardi and the 00 of Hewer still out there. Car running a little bit cooler with the front bumper cap off of the 00. Who is it going to be? Can Tim Rogers hold on for 5 more circuits around this racetrack? Or will it be Devin McDonald? Can he time to restart? How about Ron Hart? Can he go back to back? He picked up feature number 1. Can he pick up feature number 2? Started 12th, running in that 3rd spot. Jacob Laster, Andrew Payne rounding out your top 5. Green flag is back up. We are back underway. Hart took a dip to the inside. Here comes Lassiter. Tim Rogers trying to run away and hide with 3 more laps to go, this time at the stripe. Rogers started on the outside of row number 1. Took the race lead over early and now trying to set sail. McDonald started in 7th. He's run 2nd now. Ron Hart all over the backside, drawing a bead to that driver out of Canada. Off of turn number 4. Rabbit ears are up. 2 more laps to go here tonight at Eldora. Hart with a good run to the inside. The slight contact off of turn number 2 and into turn 3. Side by side they will come. Hart down low. McDonald using the outside to get the momentum, but I believe Hart's going to have it, but the white flag is out. And it is all this man, the number 48 of Tim Rogers. Off of turn number 2 and into turn 3 for the final time. Tim Rogers is going to be victorious here at Eldora. Hart will come home 2nd. Lassiter 3rd. Unofficially. McDonald, Patton 5th. Unofficially, that is your top 5. Rogers going to pick up the feature number 2 win. He will pull down here on the front stretch and up into victory lane. Unofficially, you see your finishing order on the left side of the screen. It is Rogers, Hart, and Lassiter. That's who we'll talk to right after this here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We'll be right back. And welcome back here to the virtual Eldora Speedway, where we just wrapped up feature number 2, and we are getting ready to go down track side. We're going to talk to the driver of this number 48. He picked up feature 2 win right here tonight, and it is none other than the 48 of Tim Rogers. And Tim is unbuckled from the race car. And Tim, you look a little worn out of there. Driver that's pretty close to the studio where I'm broadcasting from, out of Binghamton. Tim, congratulations on picking up the win. Started on the outside of the front row. Feature 1 not probably went how you would like, but feature 2 has to make up for it.
Yeah, I didn't get a lot of practice there. I was writing a paper. I had a paper due tonight, so I was kind of riding on the limit there, and got a couple laps of practice, got caught up with my teammates, got me caught up on what I needed to do, and yeah, the first feature didn't really go my way, but got lucky with the invert there and started on front row and used what I learned to keep it up front.
I'm going to tell you, from my vantage point here tonight, it looked like a lot of fun out there. How was it behind the wheel running this car that's not particularly made for the dirt, but it looks like they had a great setup underneath you guys here tonight to make the racing very competitive?
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, it's unlike anything I've run on dirt before. I was just talking about it with Jacob and Ron down there. It's just wide open, grip it and rip it, and in the slick, what you would consider the slick in like a traditional dirt car, that's where you want to be. You want to be right in the slick and hold it wide open, and it grips right up, and you just want to wrap right around the bottom. It's almost like asphalt, but you're getting a little sideways.
Well, you did a good job here in feature number 2. It's going to help you out overall in the championship standings, and well, you're going to be tied with Ron Hart with the Iron Man Challenge here at a little unique point system within the points race for the regular season. But next week it's going to be another challenge as we look forward to that race, and it slips my mind where we're going to be going next week. It's Tanner's got you guys going all over the place. How much fun is it just to be bouncing from surface to surface, track, whether it's a big track, a small track, all over the place? How does it make, like, as a driver, is that a lot of fun for you, challenging?
Yeah, I mean, overall, it's just an exciting schedule Tanner's put together for this series. We wanted to, obviously, we probably noticed with the paint schemes, we want to put an IROC SRX twist on it, make all the cars equal, and test our league drivers' skills at every sort of racing facility, road courses, mile and a half, dirt tracks, short ovals. I mean, it's a super unique and fun schedule, and this series is just going to be a load of fun to race. Yeah,
next week we are going to be headed to the Darlington Raceway. So go from a half-mile dirt track to probably one of the Lady in Black, the track too tough to tame. That's going to be put on a good show there. What's your outlook for Darlington?
Darlington is probably, I've raced a bunch there in, the NASCAR stuff, and it's probably the toughest asphalt, oval on the service for me, at least. I've never had good luck there, but I've never raced this car there, so I just got my first win at Eldora in these cars. Maybe I can get my first win at Darlington in these cars.
Well, we'll find out in 1 week's time. But before we let you go, we'll let you roll the red carpet out. Who makes it all possible for this 48 team to be in victory lane here tonight?
First and foremost, I want to thank my team members for getting me caught up there on how to drive this thing on this car. I mean, like I said before, it's a totally unique animal, and they got me caught right up with different tips. So shout out to them. Shout out to Tanner for putting on such a great and unique series. Like I said, this is going to be a lot of fun. Shout out UL for putting on a great broadcast. All the boys at Turn 3, our official broadcast partner. It's going to be fun going back and watching the broadcast, and just want to thank Skull Bandit Racing for hopping on with me for this season.
Well, congratulations. We'll look forward to maybe talking with you in 1 week's time. Tim, get that paper done, and good luck with that.
Thanks, Al.
That's Tim Rogers, tonight's feature number 2 winner. And we're going to now switch over here to our driver that finished second in feature number 2. He said after feature number 1, well, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get through traffic, but Ron, I think you went to school real quick, and you're going to come home in that number 2 spot here tonight in feature number 2. So not a bad night for the pink number 51.
Yeah, I went much better than I kind of thought I was going to tonight. Didn't really know what to expect. Haven't really raced these cars on dirt before, and it was a lot of fun actually. It felt good to pass some people, and like you said, that second race, surprised to be able to get up there, but it was fun racing and pretty clean, really getting them through there.
Yeah, we saw a lot of passing going on this, and we were just talking with feature number 2 winner. Car not necessarily made to be on the dirt surface, but it put on a really good show. The series putting a good setup underneath you guys here tonight. It had to have been a lot of fun. It looked like a lot of fun out there. Talk us about the differences between feature 1 and feature 2. Obviously, you started up front, feature 1, but feature 2 had to come through the field. How much of a challenge was that?
Feature 1 was stressful, leading like that. You got the stress. You're trying to learn. You don't really get to learn being the leader because you can't see what other guys are doing is good. So you just hope you're choosing right. When you're back in the pack, that's actually a lot more fun. You kind of learn and figure out how to get past guys and move through the field. And we got a really good group of guys here, Al, that race and race clean. So it was fun and really didn't have a lot of beating and banging up front there.
Yeah, a lot of good racing all night long. And, well, I'm going to say a 1.5 average finish here tonight. You got to be pretty happy with that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm greedy. Would have liked one more restart and shot at Tim there at the end, but didn't work out that way. So only missed it by 1 spot. Can't complain about that.
Next week we head to Darlington. We hope to see you there. Make sure you don't get that Darlington stripe though next week.
Yeah, it's an amazing racetrack. Again, never drove these cars there, but one of my favorites, and should be fun.
Well, Ron, who makes it all possible? I know you give some shout-outs after feature number 1, but we'll let you do it again here for a nice second-place finish here in feature number 2.
Hey, thanks, Al. Appreciate your time tonight doing this broadcast. I think my parents are watching, and they always enjoy watching the races in the evening, so shout-out to them, and hopefully talk to you next week.
Sounds good. That's Ron Hart, your second-place finish here tonight in feature number 2, and we'll get to a podium finisher that comes home in spot number 3. It's the 151 of Jacob Lassiter, and Jacob came in here tonight. I think maybe the odds-on favorite coming in as the Pro Late Model champion, and to come home with 2 podium finishes here in the street stocks the asphalt street stocks on dirt. How much fun was it tonight?
Well, it was pretty fun, man. I didn't really realize how these things would react on dirt like this, and it was difficult to pass at times. You know what I mean? You kind of had to wait for somebody just to make a bobble. It seemed like the bobble for everybody, and I did the same mistake, was kind of coming off of 2 and off of 4. You want to push a little bit wide. If you could get the car to rotate through the center right there, sometimes you can get a run on somebody. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, it was pretty fun.
Yeah, we saw a lot of close quarter racing and a little bit of leaning on each other. It's always fun when you have a good group of guys that you can do that with. And I know the ASRC family runs pretty deep, whether it's on the dirt side, the asphalt side, or a mixture of both. And it's got to give you a little more confidence to be able to race as hard as you guys did here tonight.
Oh, for sure, man. This is a really good group. Some of these guys I've raced with on dirt, some of these guys I've never raced with, but all in all, it just seems like everybody that runs in this league has a lot of respect. And tonight, I kind of, my teammate Brandon was in the race, and I kind of hinted this is sort of like go-kart racing, where you have to kind of, just bump somebody enough to get up under them, or you lean on somebody just a little bit, and you kind of try to hold your line. I mean, that's really not, I'm trying to be as clean as I can, but in this type of racing, I mean, that's about what you have to do. But nobody says anything, and I got rubbed on, and I did some rubbing, and it was at the end of the deal, everybody was a good race, and that's what it's about.
You had a good night overall. Feature number 1 went well for you. You finished, I believe, 4th in that one, so you're going to come home 3rd here tonight. So overall, good night. You went forward in both, I believe, so that's always a good night in my books.
Absolutely, man. Anytime you can, no matter where you start, anytime you can make progress and finish in one piece, that's a good night.
Well, before we let you go, who makes it all possible for this 151 to be here on the podium talking to us. It's a privilege to talk to anybody in this league, and you're definitely one of the class acts here in the ASRC. So who makes it all possible for you?
I appreciate that, Al. I just got to thank Team Hot Lap Heroes. I got to thank my teammate Brandon Marlowe was in the race tonight. I got to thank the guys that put the league on, and Tanner for letting us come out here and run some dirt. And I'm going to try to do a little bit of paving and stuff in these things. I don't know how much luck I'll have, but we're going to give it a shot to see how it goes. But I got to thank you guys for the broadcast. And I got to thank the wife, as always, for taking care of the little one.
Well, congratulations on third place, and we'll hope to see you maybe at Darlington, or if not, another racetrack down the road here this season. Congratulations in your third place finish here in feature number 2.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Here you go. That is Jacob Lassiter picking up that third spot, and that means we just have one thing left to do here tonight. As the sun sets at Eldora, the crowd will start to file out. Let's take a look at our race results from tonight's feature event, and it was Tim Rogers picking up the win over Ron Hart, who came from the 12th position. Jacob Lassiter will come home third over Devin McDonald and David Patton with a top 5. Andrew Payne 6th, Zach Heiser 7th, Brian Wildasson will come home 8th, Nick Fleury and Steve Hoffman rounding out your top 10. Zach Coyer will finish 11th, Brandon Marlowe 12th, Hayden Swank 13th, Deontay Hewer 14th, and rounding out your 15th spot will be Jeff Dillon. Rounding out the rest of your field here tonight will be car number 68, that is Jamie Camphart. Donovan Carty in car number 3 will come home 17th, Franklin Evans, Charles Darling, John Kane, and Brett Hahn will finish 21st. Special thanks to Drew Thiel and Tanner Tallarico, your race control here tonight. We appreciate all of you for watching here tonight. Next week, we head to Darlington, South Carolina for the Lady in Black. But until then, if we don't talk to you before then, everybody have a safe Easter, and we'll see you next Wednesday night right here in Turn 3. Good night, everybody.